Tell us a little bit about your experience with this hockey team. How's it been?
Yeah, for sure. I think it has been quite the experience getting to have these relationships with new guys from Southwest Christian over here. Over my 4 years, I've went through a bunch of different friends and I've made so many memories. But I think it's a blessing to my life that I've got this experience to co-op with these guys and be on the varsity team. Because without these guys, I don't know where I'd be playing hockey for the most part.
So when you were a Bantam at Richfield, was the high school season discontinued after your 8th grade year? Is that how that worked
I think
at
it was,
the high school level?
I think like 2 years before I became like a freshman in high school, that's when they stopped the high school Richfield varsity hockey team. And I was playing for Kennedy Bantams, by the way, because they didn't have they didn't have a youth program here in Richfield.
Yeah.
So I was playing over at Kennedy, and I was just waiting to hear some news about Richfield, or else I would have had to play for Kennedy's varsity team. I sure didn't want to play for a team that I don't go to school at. It was just good to hear that we got an opportunity to play with these Chatham guys over here, and it was just a good opportunity. And I just took it.
It's been 4 great years for you.
Yeah.
Your JV schedule when you guys start is one, and then maybe again then you add in some varsity games. What's that journey of hockey been like for you guys? You're getting better and better. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big growth period. I mean, at first we didn't really know where we'd end up at. At first we didn't know how our schedule would work. We didn't know who we'd be playing. We just kind of threw ourselves into the bunch of into the hockey world and just played a bunch of different teams. And then as we've got better coaching and more players coming in, we've developed a very great majority. And I think that's the biggest take out of this is just the growth and development of this team.
So personally for you, you go from not really knowing where you're going to be to saying, wow, this has got to be pretty cool. It's going to be something you'll probably look back at when you get older and say, oh, you said blessed earlier, but that's incredible. I mean, can you kind of talk about how many other guys feel that way too?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think some other Richfield guys that I used to go to school with, they all graduated already. They also were very blessed that they got the opportunity to play here, and I think everyone was just happy to know that we have a team back in Richfield and that we're continuing to develop throughout years and years to come.
Legendary program. I mean, the Spartans, well, that was incredible stuff. And I want a final question for you. If you can touch on coaches, Westy, all those guys. How good has he been to play for?
Oh yeah, I think that's he's had the biggest impact on my life. Seeing his coaching abilities and him teaching me a lot of stuff, that's really made me improve the most, I think, as an athlete and as a hockey player. And I think all the rest of the consultants as well, and signing them up to work with us was a great move, so that all of us could have the right coaching staff to how would you say it, just to improve. And I think it's the best coaching staff in the state of Minnesota, to be honest with you.
Well, there it is, the sales pitch. I'll hire you tomorrow for the MN Hockey TV. Good job. Nick, congratulations on a great year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right,
Keep it going.
All right, thank you.
Holy cow, that thing will put me in.
We welcome you inside the Chaska Community Center. It's the Stars are out tonight here at the Chaska Community Center as Southwest Christian-Richfield takes on the Minnesota River Bulldogs along with Bart Archer and a full house here on MN Hockey TV tonight. I'm Patrick Lilia. So Bart will start with the visiting Bulldogs that coming in looking to defend a Section 1A title. They lost a lot. They're in position to get a home game if they can finish the season relatively strong. So the Bulldogs coming in tonight, led by Sean Lettinen, the defenseman, 16 goals, 17 assists, 33 points, Bart.
Well, four power plays and a couple game winners as well. They have a couple of people that can put the puck in the net as far as this Bulldogs team. But they also have a tandem in goaltending that's formidable as well. But I think, Patrick, the numbers that really jump off the page of the power play at 23.6 and the penalty kill at 84, those numbers are pretty impressive.
Absolutely. As for the home Stars, Nick Gustafson with 46 points. He's had an absolutely brilliant season for Southwest Christian-Richfield. So the Stars coming in, and now they take the ice. Really finishing our discussion about Nick Gustafson, the 46 points. He's having an absolutely outstanding year as well, Bart.
Well, indeed. But, whenever one player gets a focus like this, obviously they played 19 games and he has 22 goals, so he's averaging more than a goal a game, which is very impressive in its own right. But, it's the players like Hardacre and the players like Olam, the other players that can put the puck in the net, creating space for him, but he can certainly finish plays.
So the Stars will look to knock off their second straight tournament team in a row. They beat New Ulm in their prior game. The Bulldogs defeating Worthington their last time out. So as we said, the Bulldogs very much in the mix for a home game in 1A. They're right in the middle of the pack. Dodge Center on top in the section coming into play tonight as the Bulldogs being introduced. Bart, what does it mean to have a home game in sectionals? It's really got to be a great springboard for a nice run through sectional play, perhaps to the neutral site quarterfinals and finals.
Well, in fact, they are rounding down the season, so you want to finish strong. I need to hear them. I can't hear them. But no, having homecoming actually adds a little bit of flavor. But Patrick, this place is packed. It's got a great atmosphere going on.
As the Bulldogs have been introduced, and now
don't adjust your dial.
Keep you right where it is.
Right.
They got the spotlight ready to introduce the home Stars. It's a really wonderful evening with the MN Hockey TV here on site to televise the game tonight. It's Isaac Haugen getting the start in goal for the Stars, and goal.
On defense, a junior number 7,
Colin O'Connell introduced as one of the defensive pair.
Well, O'Connell 4 goals, 12 assists, 16 points on the year, so he can play that offensive game as well.
So we've got some pretty good offensive defensemen in this game, and we're going to be calling a lot of different players who are really good puck handlers and good shooters regardless of whether they have an F or a D next to their name.
And Nick Gustafson just got introduced. He's the one, 22 goals, 24 assists, 46 points on the year, 7 power play goals, 1 shorty as well.
Gustafson, the subject of our pregame interview. Good to get to know about Gustafson a little bit better as the last of the Stars starters introduced. So we've got the Stars and the Bulldogs coming up here on MN Hockey TV just moments away. We're going to take a step out and come back after the national anthem with Puck Drop. You're watching MN Hockey TV.
from Southwest Christian to lead us in the national anthem.
So we welcome you back inside the Chaska Community Center, getting set for Minnesota River and Southwest Christian-Richfield. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem. So the home Stars on a big night for them. They'll host Minnesota River just moments away from puck drop.
Well, and it is homecoming tonight, Patrick, but a lot of people in the crowd, and we're kind of right in the mix with everybody, so it's a little bit different. I'm glad I'm not claustrophobic, but I'm sitting next to some pretty nice people. But it was a nice rendition. It was actually somebody singing the national anthem as opposed to some canned music, and she did a wonderful job, kind of set the tone. But quite a production they have. They set a nice atmosphere here. We're getting ready for some Friday night hockey.
As you said, Bart, this place is ready to rock. Stars coming in a record of 9-8-2 overall. As you mentioned, they're coming off a win over Worthington. And the Bulldogs, 11-8-0. They got a victory their last time out. Excuse me, they got the Stars got the victory over Worthington. The Stars beating New Ulm, the Bulldogs beating Worthington. Sorry about that. As the Bulldogs, we mentioned, very much in the mix for a home game in the Section 1A playoffs as we are underway. And it's pushed quickly into the offensive zone. It played around Brooks Reichs, one of the brothers of Jade Reichs, another brother on the team as well. Jade Reichs, one of those who led the Bulldogs to their state tournament appearance last year with the Stars possessing the puck. This one pushed out ahead of Nick Gustafson into the offensive zone where it will be quickly covered up. And we'll have a face-off deep in the Minnesota River zone. 16:35 to go, first period, no score.
Well, we are early, and it was the Bulldogs came out with a little energy, and then kind of a weak clearing attempt, misfire, brought the Stars down into the zone. The goaltender Mo covered it, and then Nick Gustafson early gave him a little bit of a spray. So already we're starting to play a little bit of the games within the game, so to speak. But face-off is going to be to the right. We're just 25 seconds in. Fans still filing in, getting settled.
Logan Moe coming in a 6-4 record on the season, an .892 save percentage. It's up in the far side corner. Nick Host battling for it. It's able to be held on the back door, and then Moe having to make a save on that drive by Mason Reinhardt, by Ollie Uhas, and come through the slot. Uhas able to play it down toward the near side. It'll be played through the corner. Bulldogs trying to clear. It's knocked down in the near side circle, sent up into the net, out of play. 16:07 to go here in the first period, and no score between the Bulldogs and the Stars on homecoming night from Chaska. This place is full. A lot of excitement in the building tonight.
Indeed, and it's the Bulldogs that are in the light grays and the Stars that are in the black. A lot of activity so far down in the Bulldog zone.
It's pushed in on Moe. He's able to poke it back down toward the near side. Sliding up to try to gain control of it is Brody Hardiker. Sent back out to neutral ice. Hardiker banks it off the near side boards. With Jackson Olim trying to play it ahead, where it's taken away by Mason Reinhardt, and then taken away again by Ryan Odafe, who pushes it in on Moe, and he has to cover up once again.
Well,
so
Odafe had kind of an inspiring shift on that one, knocked the puck off the stick, directed it toward Moe in goal, and Moe decided to cover it up, which I think is the appropriate play. There is some adjusting by the friendlies here to try to make more room, get everything a little bit more consolidated so they can get more fans in here.
The drive saved by Moe from Hardiker as it'll work its way through the neutral zone. The Stars will have to play it from deep in their own end as Brady Anderson trying to play it along. They'll back out at neutral ice where it's played in by Caleb Bendel. Deep in the Minnesota River zone, a hit put on the end boards as it's worked around the corner down toward the near side. We'll get past Hardiker. We'll go deep into the Stars zone once again, where Anderson will set up with it once again. Anderson playing it toward the far side. Stretch pass, they get it to Gustafson. Gustafson into the offensive zone, trying to work around Aiden Blashko. Puck ends up over on the near side. A quick turnaround shot from Hardiker is held onto by Moe in a face-off with 15:02 to go in the first period. A lot of heavy action, heavy energy from the Stars early on in this game.
Well, possession is key as well, and they're doing a good job of closing the zone down and redirecting pucks toward Moe and goal. It's up to this Bulldogs team to solve the riddle of getting out of their zone officially without just dumping the puck down, but I'm sure it'll come. But so far, the Stars have had a good showing.
It's Colin O'Connor trying to play it from deep in his own zone. It works its way behind the net, back down toward the near side corner. The Bulldogs in the offensive zone really for the first time in the game as it pushed back toward the blue line. It's able to be cleared by Gustafson as the Bulldogs sent it back in deep. The Stars set up from deep in their own end. Their neutral ice is Uhas into the offensive zone as Uhas has it slip off his stick down toward the near side. Played up toward the far side corner. Some nice physical play up in that far side circle as a centering feed just sneaks through as Jeremiah Conkle almost got it through to Truman Hogan. It goes back deep into the Stars zone. Along the near side boards, continuing to be played in the Stars end. It works its way now toward the end boards. Back toward the blue line as it sneaks by Hunt. Gustafson into the offensive zone with it. Gustafson, centering feed is intercepted out front. There were no Stars in the vicinity. It's banked off the near side boards. Along the near side, it's played deep into the Stars end once again as Anderson tries to play it back toward the near side. Flip back through neutral ice as Nick Houst gets to it. Houst on the near side. He's met on the near side boards. Houst able to hold the zones. It's played back through the corner. The Bulldogs setting up from deep in their own end. They'll be forced to play it back toward Matt Fink. Comes loose out front. Backhand shot saved by Moe off the stick of Houst. The drive that's blocked through traffic from Anderson. The centering feed. It didn't quite get off the stick of Ryan Odafe. Able to be held as Houst whacked at it with the stick. Was nearly a high stick as the shot blocked in traffic there. Now back through neutral come the Bulldogs. Into the offensive zone is Seth Reichs, one of the other brothers of Jade Reichs that we talked about earlier in the game. Along the near side boards. Works its way up through the slot where the Stars gather it in. They get it ahead toward Bendel, but it's out of his reach. It'll have to be played by the Bulldogs from deep in their own end. Reese Narum playing it back behind the net for Fink. Fink will have to try to bank it off the end boards. Backhand shot. They score! As Bendel put it in on net, and Moe had to make a difficult move to try to save it. He might have kicked it into the net by accident. Either way, 1-0 Southwest Christian-Richfield with 12:36 to go in the first period.
Caleb Bendel with his third goal of the season, but it just came off the wall. Bit of a misplay by this Bulldog team, and he went short side. And I don't know if it was the initial one that went off the goaltender Moe or it's a follow-up opportunity. It doesn't really matter. The puck went into the goal area, so it's a 1-0 lead Stars. 12:36 left in this first period. It's been all Stars so far with intermittent Bulldog action. The Bulldogs just have to find a way to get a sequence of passes together and get out of their zone efficiently. It's been a challenge so far.
Coming at 4:24 of this first period, as that'll be played offside. It'll have a face-off in the neutral zone, so Bendel with his third of the year at 4:24 of the first period, and the Stars on top, 1-0.
Well, Patrick, sometimes it just comes down to wanting the puck more and really not being satisfied until you get that puck, and that's exactly what the Stars did on that one. They just won the battle to that puck and put it behind the goaltender, Logan Moe.
Absolutely, and we've seen the Stars winning most of the effort plays here early on. The races to the puck and that battle on the end boards that resulted in the goal. The Bulldogs will play this through neutral, back deep into the Stars zone. Have to be steered aside with the pad. Played back out into the neutral zone. It's forced to be played across by Jake Rimstead as it's forced back out to neutral ice. It comes down toward the near side boards as it's gathered in by Uhas. Uhas back into his own zone with it. It's pushed to the end boards. It comes through the near side corner. It's pushed toward the Bulldog net, banked off the glass. It comes free in the circle. Turnaround shot. It's loose in front and poked down through the circle down to the near side. It's a shot I think that might have gone off the side of the net or was possibly saved by Haugen as it'll go back into the Bulldog zone. As there to pick it up is Reese Narum. Narum is met up in the far side corner, and the Bulldogs able to take the puck away from Owen Sommernes. Sommernes will play it back behind the net. It comes direct to the point for a shot from Brady Anderson. It's held on to by Moe.
Wow, it was good work by, again, the Stars team. They won the battle to the puck, got it out to Anderson. He put a nice redirect back on goal, but Moe tracked that puck through traffic, held onto it. But it was the Bulldogs that had a little life, put a couple shots on goaltender Isaac Haugen, and that one I don't think went off the post. I think he got his pillow down short side, made a pretty nice save on that, allowing his team to come back in and put some pressure down low. But it looks like this Bulldog team's starting to get some flow.
Face off, loose in the circle, controlled by the Bulldogs as Aiden Blaschko plays it around toward the near side. Stretch into the neutral zone off the stick of Anderson as Brock Olson carries it in. Olson winds up for a shot, save Hogan, and he holds on.
Well, it was a pretty good offering from the right side. As you said, by Brock Olson, 5 goals on the year, making a bid for a 6 just on top of the right circle. He let one go. I don't think he got really all the lumber he wanted on that one. It seemed to flutter a little bit, but Haugen, nice job of tracking, receiving, and holding on to that.
Minnesota River again wins the face-off. Another quick shot saved by Hogan. It goes up through the corner where the Stars able to gain possession but unable to clear initially. Now they are able. Here's Gustafson into the offensive zone. Hardiker. Hardiker shoots one wide of the net off the end boards. It works its way back out to neutral ice. As Hardiker on the near side with it. Hardiker will have to set it up in his own zone. He tried to cross ice to Anderson. It's a nice place by Seth Reichs as he was able to make some physical play happen. We're going to get a penalty coming here. It's going to go against the Stars, and the Bulldogs will go on the power play.
Well, it's going to be Brady Anderson that's going to go for that hook. He just got a little aggressive with that stick work, but it gives the Bulldogs really good opportunity to kind of get some possession with some semblance of comfort, but 23.6 power play for this Bulldog team against an 81.7 penalty kill for this Stars team. But great opportunity right now for the Bulldogs to get possession, get a little comfortable, and put some pucks toward Isaac Haugen, the goaltender for the Stars team.
10:39 to go in the first period. 1-0. Stars leading it on the third of the year for Caleb Bendel. That came at the 4:24 mark of this opening frame. Face-off, still loose in the circle, gathered in by the Bulldogs. No setup at the point as here's Lettinen with it. Lettinen sends it back cross ice. It's a shot, and that'll go wide. I think it might have been more of a pass. There's Lettinen back with it. Lettinen through traffic, and that'll be tipped wide of the net. That comes back down toward the near side corner. Lettinen, one of those we talked about fairly extensively in the pregame, with all those points from that defensive position as it works its way down into the near side corner. Lettinen will have to go get it in the neutral zone. Lettinen will play it back over toward Rimstead on the near side. It goes back off the skates of Lettinen, and he's going to lose it. Is Conkle into the offensive zone. Conkle got tied up from behind. 1:13 to go on the power play. 9:50 in the period as the Stars trying to work it free shorthanded. There's a great effort play there from Gustafson to hold that deep in the zone, allowing the Stars to change. 1 minute to go on the Bulldog power play. It's up the right wing side into the offensive zone. Is Reichs as he slips and falls down. Cleared back out to neutral ice where the Bulldogs will set back up again. It goes off the stick on the near side. It ends up on the stick of Blaschko. Blaschko gets it ahead into the offensive zone for Tice Shook. Shook in the far side circle reversing direction as it dropped back to the blue line. It's over toward the near side. A shot blocked. A great job to get in the way of that one if it'll go up into the rafters. Excuse me, that was Seth Reichs on the far side, not Shook. My apologies there.
That was a nice block by Jackson Olam. Just got his, instead of using a busy stick, he got his body in front of it. I think it went off the shin up and out of play, but a couple good sequences by this Bulldog team gaining the zone. Now they just have to get some pucks toward the net.
Bulldogs again able to control as Tristan O'Brien. A shot from right out in front goes wide of the net. It was blocked. They got it to Matt Fink, and we'll get a whistle.
Well, one thing that this Bulldog team could do is if their defenseman gets it along the blue line, they can walk that puck along that blue line and really free some space open, but they're being relatively easier to defend when they keep their feet still. But again, any shot on goal or toward the net is a pretty good at this situation, but it looks like just 20 seconds left in the penalty to Brady Anderson for the Stars. It's been a pretty good kill so far.
The Stars control the face-off. They're able to send it deep into the Bulldog zone where it'll be played from the corner by O'Brien. With Gustafson in pursuit, they play it back into the neutral zone. A nice job there by Uhis to separate the puck away as it's played into the Stars zone. And out front, it's cleared the length of the ice once again as the power play comes to an end. The Stars back at full strength with 8.5 minutes to go here in the first period, just past the midpoint of the opening frame. 1-0 Southwest Christian-Richfield leading it. The Bulldogs able to push it back through neutral. And into the offensive zone. There's a lot of physical play, and the crowd was getting a little more successively oohed and awed more and more as it's kicked in. That would obviously not have counted if he had been able to kick that one past Hogan. That was Wyke who was just kind of said, here, take it, cover it up.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, your stick's out of your hands and you can see the puck in front of you. So he did what I think any hockey player would. He put it toward the goal, kicked it toward the goaltender, Haugen, but Haugen made a pretty easy save. But
yeah,
I like the athletic ability, showing some soccer skills.
Absolutely. It was getting set for spring, maybe.
Yeah.
Or fall, I don't know.
Well, we're getting toward springtime, but we got a lot of hockey to be played. But time is kind of running out. All the teams want to kind of start to be playing their best game. Coaches know exactly what they have to work with and how to utilize those resources. But I kind of like what Minnesota River Bulldogs did on the power play. They didn't necessarily get any point-blank opportunities other than one that was a wide shot, but they got the zone time. They put some pucks toward the net. That might help settle them down a little bit so it could be more of a 50-50 game. But shots on goal, 6 now for the Stars and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Seeing the Bulldogs start to establish a little bit of momentum. It seemed the Stars really had it for all of the first 5 minutes or so, including the goal. It's played back over toward the near side. The Bulldogs start to break from their own end. It's intercepted as they tried to get it through to Wyke rather. And through neutral ice come the Bulldogs back into the offensive zone where they can't get around Brady Anderson. Anderson gets the play tied up on the end boards. The Bulldogs able to come out with the puck through the near side corner. Bulldogs able to keep possession. Flipped up toward the near far side and then taken away. Played out to neutral by Josh Larson. Icing waved off. I don't think that was going to go wide of the goaltender anyway. 7:13 to go first period. 1-0 Stars leading it here on homecoming night. The stretch pass through neutral was knocked down by Cullen O'Connell. But the Bulldogs able to push it into the offensive zone with that big hit put on by Odafe. It's played on down toward the near side. With under 7 minutes to go here in the first period. 1-0 Southwest Christian-Richfield leading it. Into the offensive zone, here's Olim. Olim puts one toward net. It's going to be swept aside by Moe as it comes down toward the near side. 7-2 now, shots on goal in favor of Southwest Christian-Richfield. Into the offensive zone is Seth Reichs. Reichs up on the far side is separated from the puck as Brock Olson was trying to play it through the corner, and we get a whistle.
Well, I think the Stars did a nice job of matching up bodies, so they didn't really come in with an odd man rush, but I think it was Olsen that took that shot from the right side. Kind of a somewhat harmless shot, but again, a little bit of a challenge for Isaac Haugen, but he held on to it. But the shot total is 3 and growing for this Bulldog team, but they're going to have to get better quality looks, and that means getting into that scoring area, which the Stars are protecting quite well.
It's Hardiker was trying to play it around the net, had it taken away. As the Bulldogs accidentally send it back through neutral, as Hunt will try to get to it first, which he will, and then he takes a big hit on those far side boards. Oh my goodness, and a lot of really physical play. It's Hardiker with a shot through traffic is blocked. It comes down toward the near side. 6 minutes to play here in the first period. 1-0 Stars leading the Bulldogs. As Hardiker can't hold as it gets by him. It's sent deep into the Southwest Christian zone. That'll be an icing, and we'll have a face-off with 5:50 to go here in the period.
Well, you are correct, Pete. Or sorry for us to have it, Patrick, but it is the Stars turning up the physical part of the game, and they're being very effective. It's not just checking to check and get the crowd going. There's checks with purpose, good stick side checks, nice separation, really created that opportunity, forced this Bulldog team to ice the puck.
It's Hardiker at the point. Hardiker will drop it down toward the near side. Centering pass out of reach, and then whiffing on a shot was Anderson up on the far side boards. The Bulldogs with it. It's passed down toward the near side and then played through neutral by Brooke Reichs, and we're going to get an icing call, and we'll bring it back into the Bulldog zone. 5.5 to go in the period.
Well, I think Brooks Reichs just got rid of that puck a little earlier than he wanted, just chip it off the board. And it allows really the Stars to put some fresh legs out on the ice, but that's where the residual value of the physical game can come into it. Got rid of the puck a little quicker than I think he wanted to. Normally you get a chance to set and make a play, but he just wanted to alleviate some pressure.
The Bulldogs able to bank it through neutral ice. As we'll go for another icing with 5:22 to go here in the first period, 1-0. The Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars leading it. Third goal of the year for Caleb Bendel that came at the 4:24 mark of the opening frame.
Well, if they're going to keep icing the puck, faceoffs are going to become key in this game.
A quick shot off the faceoff by Conkle was blocked. You see a kind of a knee sticking out there to block that shot right at the last moment as it's flipped back through neutral ice. Hardiker will go back to play it from his own end. He sends it cross ice to Anderson. Anderson was trying to flip it toward Conkle. It'll come to Gustafson on the near side. Oh, what a centering feed, but it was taken away out front. It's a great centering feed from Gustafson, but it was taken away by the Bulldogs pretty much immediately after. The Bulldogs with it in their offensive end now, but the Stars get it back out to neutral. They get it ahead toward Gustafson, who has some trouble getting it on his stick, and he'll just drop it in deep. On the far side boards, the Bulldogs will play this one through. Icing waved off with the Stars changing. 4:33 to go here in the first period. 1-0. Stars leading it. On the near side, here's Bendel with it. Bendel sends it toward the far side where it's played in deep by Cullen O'Connell. It's over toward the near side corner in the Bulldog zone as they try to stuff it under Moe. Moe's got the post closed off as we'll get a whistle with 4:16 to go.
Wow, and as Olife, he's a big body out there trying to stuff it in short side, but Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars very efficient coming out of their zone. They're doing it with purpose, and that really leads to some opportunities down low. It's the Bulldogs who are struggling because of the forecheck of this Stars team, so it's a riddle that this Bulldogs team is going to have to solve.
The Bulldogs carry the face-off out to neutral ice. Is trying to fight his way through with Brock Olson. It was pushed in by Seth Reichs. Reichs trying to keep it in the offensive zone as Bendel has it. Bendel will work his way around the net toward the far side. The Bulldogs will be able to hold as the shot will go wide. That long drive from in front of the bench by Reese Nerum as it comes down to the far side. Or the near side, rather. The Bulldogs on the near side with it. Get it back to the point. A shot by Rimstead is knocked down right in front. Puck loose in the slot. The Stars play it back out to neutral ice. It goes off the stick of Rimstead back into the offensive zone. The shot that's saved off the stick of Jackson Olim. On the back door was almost threaded through to Truman Hogan on the back side. This one snagged with the glove by Moe. 3:16 to go here in the first period. 1-0. Stars leading it.
Well, it was a good... turn you back.
Off the face-off, pushed down into the near side corner. 3:13 to go first period. 1-0 Stars leading it. The Bulldogs will set up from deep in their own end once again. Backhanded ahead by Matt Fink. Fink will get tied up on the near side boards. Is Wiebert one of those down there as well? Reese Wadert as it's played back out through the neutral zone. As the Stars and Joey Michelizzi able to play it in deep. Goes up into the far side corner. 2:45 to go first period. 1-0 Stars leading it. The stretch pass will be out of the reach of Brooks Reichs, and that will result in an icing.
Well, again, though, the Bulldogs have to solve the icing issue. They have to be able to get out of their zone and at least into the neutral zone, get the puck out of danger. That's their first goal, is to try to master their own zone. So far, it's the forecheck of the Stars that are on them a little quicker than I think they're comfortable with. But just getting those sequence of passes. Now, that one just missed by a little bit. Subsequently went all the way down the ice, face off now to Moe's right. But if they can solve that and just get out of their zone, they're going to be 50-50 in this game. But Stars are showing a lot of energy so far this first period and a lot of focus as well, Patrick.
So it's flipped up and out of play by Charlie White. We'll have another face-off in the Bulldog end. 2:32 to go here in the period. Stars leading at 1-0. The goal by Bendel at the 4:24 mark of the opening frame. 9-3 shots on goal in favor of the Stars.
And that is a good indicator of how the pace of play has been going.
Absolutely, Bart, as the Stars control. There's Hardiker on the near side. Hardiker with a shot through traffic, and Moe able to find it.
Well, I like that play by Hardiker. He kind of tried to change the angle a little bit. And it was one of the Bulldogs that was coming out, forced him to do that, but he put a shot on goal. Nice job by Moe to receive that and hang on to that faceoff now to his left. 2:24 to go in this first period.
Gustafson able to win the faceoff, but the shot by Conkle was blocked and tipped wide of the net. Stars with it again. Centering feed for Conkle out of his reach. Anderson able to hold. Gets it over to Hardiker. Hardiker taking a big hit on the near side as he's separated from the puck. Quickly through neutral come the Bulldogs. Here's Blaszko into the offensive zone, but he has his pocket picked by Conkle as Conkle on the far side is slammed into. He loses control of the puck as it's played back toward the near side. The Stars will try to set up from their own end. They were almost able to get this one through to Hardiker, but shot from Conkle instead. 1:45 to go here in the first period. 1-0. Stars leading it. It's played back out to neutral ice into the offensive zone. Here's Wyke. Wyke with a shot high and wide of the net. The Bulldogs trying to play it off the end boards as Conkle will play it with speed along the far side boards. Conkle through the neutral zone. Conkle in as he's separated from the puck as it's sent down to the near side. Along the near side in the corner. 1:17 to go first period. In front, Conkle had a shot at it, but it was blocked just as he was about to unload on that puck as they almost got that one to Hardiker in front of the net. Along the end boards, 1:04 to go here in the period. It's covered up by Mo.
Well, I think Mo just wanted to give his players a chance to hit the reset. Really a great shift by Jeremiah Conkle, the senior forward for this Stars team. Really a good back check, very effective on that, and he showed some good energy and some good speed. He earned his rest right now. Just 1 minute to go in this period.
The Bulldogs trying to pick up the pace a little bit as well. Here's Olsen into the offensive zone. Loose in front and just hopping out of reach on the back door of Seth Reichs. 3-on-2 for the Stars. If they hurry, a shot saved by Mo. As then Ryan Odafe unloads on his man in front of him. 40 seconds to go here in the period. The Stars still in the offensive zone with it. Played down toward the near side. Here's O'Connell with it. As Reichs was about to drop in front of him to block any shot attempt. Up toward the far side. A shot that's just kind of whiffed on by Ewis. It goes off the far side end boards. The Bulldogs able to push it back out to neutral ice. And then slipping, trying to gain control of the puck was Seth Reichs. Then to back in the Bulldog zone. Shipped down toward the near side. 5 seconds to go here in the period. Taken away by O'Connell. O'Connell at the buzzer with a shot saved by Mo as the period ends.
Boy, that was a good save by Mo as Colin O'Connell, 4 goals on the year, banking a bid for his 5th. Walked in, his time was wearing down, and it was Logan Mo that made himself big, took away that high percentage shot down low and held onto that puck. So the Stars go into the locker room, one goal advantage. They really carried the play during that period, 12-4 shots on goal. So this Bulldog team's got a little work to do, and I think they have to focus on just how they attack their own zone. But I just love the forecheck on this Stars team. They're on them in a hurry, and they're taking the proper angles and really creating havocs for this Bulldog team. But I look for those adjustments to be made during the first intermission. But I look for a pretty good period with a lot of energy from both squads.
Absolutely. So Bendel's goal puts the Bulldogs behind 1-0 as we go to the first intermission. We're going to turn things over to our executive producer, Pete Wagner, here on MN Hockey TV.
Is that too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
And we welcome you back to the Chaska Community Center, home of the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars. And it's Future Stars Night. We've got some serious between periods action going on. Apparently someone blew an ACL on the way to the Chick-fil-A table and didn't want to have anything to do with the shootout at center ice, and she has a stand-in. We'll see how that shakes out. That should be quite interesting. So a wonderful night here, as it is absolutely packed. It's wall-to-wall people. I'm just stunned we're even able to get a stream out of here because there is no such thing as a hardwired cable in this facility. So we are excited that we're able to do it, and we had some great stuff planned for you here tonight. So while they work on the shootout here, we're going to send ourselves off to an interview with the head coach, Eric Westrom. We caught up with him prior to the game. He talks a lot about the program and the growth. 4 years of this team. The first 2 years were JV, and they kind of evolved their way into a JV varsity combo schedule, and this year they're all varsity. And we'll hear from Eric, and then we'll take a look at your highlights from the first period as we continue between periods as the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars lead the Minnesota River Bulldogs 1-0. So here we are. Is it year number 3?
Year number 3, yep.
And first full year of varsity or second full year?
Second full year of varsity, first full year of varsity and JV.
And for you, how have things been going? I mean, it's been a nice growth. You're having a great year.
Yeah, it's been a pretty cool journey. I think, when we first envisioned this, didn't really think it would grow that quick, but I think, you've grown the foundation, done it the right way. Started, with Richfield, Southwest Christian, focusing on the academics, the family, faith, and community aspects. And as we've built it, people have come. So it's been a pretty cool experience with some pretty neat people.
So you obviously have core components that you want to put this together, almost pillars, right?
Yep.
And is there one that supersedes the other, or are they all playing in really well with each other?
I think it's all kind of playing together, right? We use the acronym FAITH, right? Obviously for our school and for our foundation, but you're starting with that faith component with the F and the foundation, and the last thing is H, and that's hockey, right? So I think if you do all those things, the faith, the attitude, right, the integrity, all of that stuff, and get down to the honesty and the hockey portion, everything kind of falls into place. So that's what we're building on.
How has the hockey side of things been?
It's been awesome. I think, with us we have, kind of old school from my dad, right, who was a Gopher captain, played 10 years professional hockey along with Ron Dockin, who kind of had that same journey with the Gophers, coached the goalies at the Gophers, down to some of the younger generation with Sam Gross from Roseau. You have Jay Little, who played at Shattuck, Dave Schwartz, better known for his TV personality with Care 11, Sam Carlson, who was at the Naval Academy, and then we have Joe Pichet and Jay Lindsay kind of as the gurus and the consultants kind of helping mold this thing. So,
do you have any goals, dreams, aspirations of where you want to see this go as far as where you are? I mean, this has been very quick, and you guys are starting to move along. I mean, where do you want to see it go?
Yeah, I think for us, the vision was always just to have a place for kids to play hockey, right? And also have that faith and academic standard to live up to. For us, now that it's continuing to grow, right, I think it's a year-to-year process. Do we want to continue to stay, within Class A hockey? Do we want to move to Class AA hockey? It's going to depend a lot, too, which families and which kids come here. For us, it's some kids want to play varsity hockey and have a place to play, and some kids want to play professionally or Division I. So the cool thing with us is we have the bandwidth to, work with any level of athlete and give them that experience.
Well, and you've got the experience at all of those levels, too, to identify, recognize, and execute, which is really wonderful. So you can take all perspectives there and provide that. From your decision-making as a group, when you decide, if you decide to make a jump, let's say, is it going to be based off of wins or depth or a combo? How are you going to look into that?
I think the biggest thing is going to be around depth, right? And kind of where our players are at. And I think it's, you obviously have to have a core group of kids each and every year. And if you can kind of forecast that or prospect that with kids coming in, like tonight, right, Future Stars nights, you have kids coming in from 4th grade all the way to 8th grade, looking at the program and being able to see how we're building it. So there's going to be a lot of different aspects. And like I said, it's kind of that 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year plan, and just seeing how we want to build it, what we want to do to be able to help all those athletes.
For those future stars, is there a targeted area, or what schools are they coming from?
I think it's kind of all over the metro, right? You're going as far as Wayzata, over to obviously the Richfield, right? It's the public school, but you have Edina, you have down to Prior Lake, right? Kind of going out towards Victoria. So almost kind of like a circle diamond type of shape And for us, it's more so we drive them right to the school. If they like the school, then we'll talk about the hockey program. Because like I work with, professional and collegiate guys, especially at the college level, you got to choose the school. Because if you get hurt and you can't play hockey, you have to enjoy the place that you're getting your education to.
That's just as important as the other, no question. Then finally, from the hockey perspective, playoffs are coming up, section seedings, and this stuff all seems to go so fast. I'm sure you remember as a player, it's we're just happy to be here in December, and it gets dog day-ish in January, and then things get, what I say, really real right now. And are you feeling that tempo in your locker room at all?
Oh, for sure, and I think it started this week in practice, right? We had a game Friday, played well, had our ups and downs, but I think now, with 6 games left in the season and then going into sections, this is when you have to play your best hockey. So for our guys, I always tell them, hey, if you don't like pressure, you're probably not in the right spot, because you got to feel the pressure, you got to perform, you got to play, whether you're a freshman or a senior, you got to be ready to perform, and now is crunch time.
And we welcome you back inside the Chaska Community Center, home of the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars. We'll take a look at some of your key moments and highlights here. There was 1 goal scored, and we'll pick that one up, the first goal of the game, and the only one scored.
Bulldogs from deep in their own end. Reese Nerum playing it back behind the net for Fink. Fink will have to try to bank it off the end boards. Backhand shot, they score! Bulldogs from deep in their own end. Reese Nerum playing it back behind the net for Fink. Fink will have to try to bank it off the end boards. Backhand shot, they score!
Christian-Richfield as they find pay dirt. Shots on goal for the period read 13-5 in favor of the Stars, as goaltender Isaac Haugen has been perfect for Southwest Christian-Richfield. Logan Moe has been very busy so far in goal as well. 1 penalty so far in the hockey game, and that one was called on the Stars of Southwest Christian. So 0 for 1 were the Bulldogs with the man advantage. You'll see coming into this one, Minnesota River at 11-9-0 and Southwest Christian-Richfield at 9-8-2. Goals against for each club are at 3.75 and 3.4. Each averaging about the same there. And as far as the goals and points, how about what Nick Gustafson's doing? He's had himself quite the campaign for his hockey club. 46 points leading the way. And then leading the way for the Bulldogs of Southwest Christian. Of course, we got to pull up the score sheet. Lettinen, I need the first name on him. Sean Lettinen. Or I'll go with Lettinen because it sounds like Gary Lettinen, the former Dallas Star. So there you go. There's your summary of the first period. We're going to be picking up some more dignitaries. It's going to be hunting down and finding the Dean of Students, Rob Wassenauer. We're also going to be checking in with the Athletics/Activities Director. We're going to hear from Brody Hardacre as well. We'll continue the coverage on Future Stars Night. Southwest Christian-Richfield and the Bulldogs of Minnesota River continue to duke it out here from the Chaska Community Center. We'll be back with more right after this.
Is that too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamites, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. So we have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamites is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. We might say to the kids, like, we're gonna do some hard things today. And we want you to remember we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing and you got heads down and panting. And remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe, do not fear.
The Chaska Community Center, 1-0 Stars after one period over Minnesota River. The third of the year for Caleb Bendel that came at the 4:24 mark of that opening frame, along with Bart Archer and the rest of our MN Hockey TV crew. I'm Patrick Willia. It's a pleasure to be here on homecoming night. Lots of energy, lots of excitement. Place is packed. It's a wonderful scene here on a Friday night.
Well, a lot of people are probably wondering why homecoming, because homecoming's usually associated with football, but Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars do not have a football team, so they celebrated with their hockey team, and tonight is that night. I asked if they always had this kind of contingency that followed them, and they said, no, this is a little bit unusual, but it's a great vibe in here tonight, Patrick. And as you said, it was the Stars that got on the scoreboard. It was Caleb Bendel with his third goal from Larson and Olam at the 4:24 mark. Shots on goal, the Stars with 12 and the Bulldogs with 4. I think that's a number that's going to have to grow for this Bulldog team. They're only one good shot away, and maybe this long line change might benefit them in some fashion, but always better to get off the ice earlier than later. But this Stars team was certainly ready to play from the first drop, and that has to do with coaching and having the kids buy in and be ready. But they sure had a good showing in that first period. They're looking for that to continue in the second.
We're underway here in the second period. This is controlled by the Bulldogs as Fink sends it ahead into the Stars zone, where it'll be played from behind the net around toward the near side. Played back into the near side corner. Now back up along. We're poked ahead by O'Connell. O'Connell had a nice rush and shot at the buzzer to end the first period. It was saved by Logan Moe, but it's kind of put an exclamation point on a really good physical, blue-collar first period for the Stars.
Well, it really was, but they showed some skill as well. But I think the challenge for the Bulldogs is just getting the sequence of passes together. The first pass is okay. It's where the second, third come into it where they're having some struggles.
Uhas carried it into the offensive zone. It'll work its way around the Bulldog net, back toward the near side. Now into the neutral zone, where it'll be picked up by Conkle, who sends it cross ice to O'Connell, who sends it in deep to the Bulldog end. 16:06 to go here in the first period as they get it over on the stick at the red line of Seth Reichs. He plays it in deep to the Stars zone. It'll work its way up into the far side corner as Reichs slipped on the far side of the net. Stretch pass back out through the neutral zone as they tried to get it ahead to Bendel. Back out in the neutral zone. The Stars able to carry it back in. A shot will go wide of Moe down to the near side corner. The Bulldogs, and Reich has it taken away as it comes down toward the near side once again. Battled for in the near side corner. Will work its way around the net up toward the far side. It's battling up there on the far side is Olim. Puck works its way free. Turnaround shot was blocked in front as it goes high and wide of the net. Centering feed out front, a backhand shot just wide by Bendel up toward the far side boards. Played back toward the near side as Brady Anderson with it. Was it taken away? Great effort play here by Reese Wadert, among others, to make that happen. The Bulldogs almost generated a chance out front off the turnover, Bart.
Well, it was a bit of a misplay, but they jumped right on that puck. They just couldn't corral and put some pressure on the goaltender, Haugen. But again, pretty encouraging, the energy that we see out of the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs setting up deep in their own end once again as they'll work their way from the near side. The Stars were nearly able to take it away in the offensive zone. The Bulldogs will again have to set up from behind their own net. It's played down toward the near side. Stretch pass will be out of reach on the back door as it's poked ahead into the offensive zone. There's a shot just wide of the net. Now that all happened really quickly. It was Reese Wadert who worked his way in as this one comes in on Hogan, who has to cover up. And, for Hogan, this is some of the heaviest action he's seen all night.
Well, in fact, it was Reese Wadert, as he said, got in, got a pretty good shot on goal, just went a little bit wide, but it was a nice keep by Narum on that one, put a shot back toward the goaltender. So some encouraging things, some things to build on for the Bulldogs, but step by step, they seem to be getting their way. But this Stars team is very consistent the way they go about their business. They're very quick on the puck and take a lot of space away.
Stars play it around their own net through the far side corner. It's intercepted out at neutral as it's backhanded back in by Lettinen. Stars will work their way back out through neutral ice. Penalty coming here against Minnesota River as Brooks Reichs put on that big hit, and he's going to go to the box.
Well, I think it's Lettinen that's going to go as well, and he's one of their primaries. So not only do they get a power play, but they really pull one of the big boppers off the ice for this Bulldog team. So it's going to be the Stars that are going the power play, 22.1. They've been successful 19 of 87 times. The penalty kill 84% for the Bulldogs, so pretty formidable. But they have a challenge in front of them. They have some work to do. Pick up their teammate and get through this penalty.
13:58 to go here, second period. 1-0. Stars leading it. The penalty assessed against Lettinen of Minnesota River. Talked about a little bit in the early going what's at stake here. Minnesota River well in the mix for a home game in the Section 1A playoffs. I think it'll be on the outside looking in terms of getting a home game right now, but I think they're 6th out of 11 in the conference, or in the section, I should say. So there's a lot to be gained tonight for Minnesota River if they're able to come back and pull this one out. Southwest Christian-Richfield, I think, will have a little more work to do if they're going to end up with a home game, as they're toward the bottom of the section standings right now. As working his way through neutral ice into the offensive zone is Conkle. Conkle still going toward the net where he's fended off. Conkle still able to maintain the puck as he works his way back along. Conkle gets it over to Hardacre. Hardacre trying to work his way through. Hardacre still with it. Hardacre with a shot wide of the net. The Stars able to maintain control of the puck. It's Conkle with it. Conkle over to Hardacre. Hardacre from the circle. Hardacre shot over the net, out of play.
Well, really some good possession by the Stars team, but I think they're kind of giving away some opportunities. They had Ryan Odofe over at the right dot all alone, a little pass over to him, and he'd be one-on-one with a goaltender, Mo, but they opted to take the shot, so pretty good defense by the Bulldogs to get in front, deflect the shots. Busy Six, they're doing what they can to get through this challenge. Just 1:10 left in the penalty to Lettinen of the Bulldogs. Ooh, here we go.
Brock Olson into the offensive zone. Olson's off the inside of the crossbar. No. I thought that went in, Bart, but the official right there said no. Brock Olson came so close to tying the game shorthanded, but ruled that it went off the inside, came back out, backdoor, they score! It's a power play goal for Nick Gustafson. 2-0 Stars.
Boy, as luck would have it, it's the Bulldogs that thought they scored a shorty. They thought it went in and out very quickly. The referee in good proximity waved it off. And then it was Mo, the goaltender, that took the big skate. He thought it was a goal, so he had to hustle back and goal. I'm not saying it had anything to do with it, but that was a big goal as the Stars came back and scored on the power play, and that's Gustafson, and that's goal number 24 for the senior. Now it's 2-0. We're back to 5-on-5. But kind of a strange series of events that just transpired, but it's the Stars, the benefactors on the power play. 2-0, 12:44 left in the second period. It's up to the Bulldogs to put this behind them and just get back, roll up their sleeves, and get back to work. You can't change the history, but obviously the referees are getting together, but the coaching staff and all the players on this Bulldog team were pretty certain that that one was in, but we don't have that review that we can go back to. So you have to play on as if it never even happened, and then it's the Stars that came down and punched one in.
No, it was interesting. It happened at the state tournament a year ago. They're going to go over and talk about it with the Bulldog bench, where was the Greenway St. Cloud Cathedral game where the officials waved off a goal at the Cathedral end, and the Greenway Raiders went down and scored a goal. Of course, at the state tournament, you have that review system available specifically for that tournament, so they were able to go and get the right call and say the St. Cloud Cathedral Crusaders, they made a good goal, and so that was corrected. Of course, in this situation, we don't have that.
Well, I think the referee was in pretty good proximity to make that call. He was very definitive about it as well. But if you don't hear a whistle, you have to keep playing like that almost didn't happen to a certain degree. But 2-0, time for the Bulldogs to get on their horse, get to work.
So Nick Gustafson getting his 23rd of the year. It's played from the Stars' end. The Bulldogs carry it into the offensive zone. A quick shot blocked as it comes down to the corner as Logan Throldahl trying to slow it down. Bulldogs were briefly able to hold the zone as Wyke will flip it up toward the far side. It'll be gathered in by Brady Sauter. Sauter will be forced back deep into his own zone. The Stars able to take it away in the Bulldog zone, but the Bulldogs able to clear it back out to neutral. It's Colin O'Connell plays it down toward the near side. Sauter into the offensive zone offside. Then we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 11:59 to go here in the second period. 2-0 Stars leading it.
Well, as we said before, it was Gustafson that scored that. That was his 23rd. But the assists go to Hardacre and Odafe. Power play goal, 2-0.
Face-off pushed into the Stars zone. The Stars will set up in their own end as Anderson sends it cross ice for Hardaker. Hardaker has it taken away by Seth Reichs, and then it's intercepted out front on the, trying to get it down low. So now the Stars can't get out of their zone. Here's Olsen down low. Olsen, though, had it knocked away from him before he could get a shot away. It's played back out toward neutral ice and flipped back in again, where Olsen will chase after it as Anderson gets it cross ice to Hardaker. The Bulldogs will gather it back in at neutral, and you kind of see, I think, that the Bulldogs have to be careful of here, Bart, is, you know, I think they want to come out and play a little bit angry after that potential missed call that they believe they got robbed on, but you have to be careful to, you know, control that anger and, you know, play smart with your aggressiveness.
Well, part of the high school level, that's a challenge is managing your emotions, but you're right, with a little edge, little attitude, this is my puck mentality. They seem to be a little bit more balancing the play. I mean, it's been Stars pretty much for the first period and a half, so to speak, and now it looks like the Bulldogs have a little bit more purpose, a little better focus.
Gustafson back into the offensive zone up the right wing, fended off by Tristan O'Brien. Centering feed was kicked away as they tried to get it out front. Back toward the far side circle for a shot. And Gustafson just missing on the back door as the net gets dislodged, and we'll have a face-off with 10:33 to go in the period.
Well, it was pretty good puck work back and forth. Got it to the open man. I think it was Owen Summerness that took that shot. Goaltender Mo made the save and then kicked the puck off the moorings, forcing a whistle, but not a bad play. It looked like the Stars were starting to kind of get some mojo going, and to get a reset is not a bad play by the goaltender. Now they just have to win the faceoff.
Face-off controlled again by the Stars. A shot save off the face-off by Mo.
Well, it was a pretty good offering by Conkle on that one. He's no stranger to that area, making a bid for his six from the top of the right circle. Just put a shot into the crest of the Bulldog goaltender. He held onto it, allowing his coach to put some fresh legs out on the ice. But they have to see, if they're going to keep offering these defensive zone faceouts, they're going to have to start winning them.
The shot again by Conkle was blocked out front. Gustafson up in the corner, able to gather it in. He banks it back for a shot out front and then just tipped wide. It was Gavin Brink who took that shot from the point. The Bulldogs play it back out through neutral ice. The Souter into the offensive zone. Souter trying to fight his way through. It's intercepted in front of the net, cleared back out to neutral. Bulldogs reset with Narum sending it cross ice for Grimstead. Taken away by Gustafson. Drops it for Conkle. Conkle couldn't get it back through as Conkle carries it back around the net. Is it back to the blue line?
Goaltender without a stick.
Said Bart, a goaltender able to gather his stick back in. There's Conkle with it. Conkle sent for the far side circle. Gustafson was just met out front before he could get a stick on that shot attempt.
It was a tic-tac-toe play. They got it to the weak side and tried to ramp it in with a nice redirect, but they got a little bit under it, up and over the net. I think it went off the goaltender, so it is going to be to Mo's right, but really a nice sequence. It seems like this Stars team is shutting down this zone, kind of Katie bar the door and turning the pucks, but they keep winning faceoffs. But the Bulldogs with a big faceoff win.
Souter was trying to get it ahead, but it was intercepted just inside the blue line. Bulldogs will bank it back toward the red line into the offensive zone. Is Lettinen as a penalty will come here against the Stars as it's pushed in on Hogan, who made the save. 9:42 to go here in the second period.
Well, it was a nice job by the Bulldogs to push that puck through traffic, really put an offering on Haugen. But it was the Stars that are going to take the penalty, and that's going to be Brady Anderson. Almost a penalty he kind of had to take to a certain degree because it was one-on-one with the goalie, so he at least interrupted it enough to allow the goaltender to make the save. But now the challenge is ahead of them to kill off this penalty. Shots on goal 19 now for the Stars and 8 for the Bulldogs. And but that number 8 should be climbing as they go on the power play. 23.6% power play.
9:42 to go here in the second period. 2-0. The Stars leading it here on homecoming night. The shot save loose in front of Hogan. He's able to get on top of it with 9:31 to go here in the second period. 1:49 now in the power play.
Wow, it was a pretty good offering, and I think it was Reichs that actually took that shot, danced around the defender, and put a shot short side. But the goaltender actually didn't have it covered, so a little bit of a quick whistle in that one might have limited what could have been a pretty good opportunity for this Bulldog team.
So Bryan couldn't hold the zone. Played back out to neutral ice as O'Brien is tangled up with Ryan Odafe. Puck loose in front of the Stars bench. Played over toward the near side and then back toward the red line. Nice job here by Odafe to disrupt that sequence. That was Jackson Olim as it played along the near side boards. Played back into the offensive zone. Here's Olsen with it. Olsen will play it around. Olsen still with it as he slips behind the net. 1:16 to go on the power play as the Stars clear at the length of the ice. Of course, Olsen was the one who took that shot in that shorthanded situation that the officials ruled that did not go in the net. It's taken away by Gustafson. Gustafson, he scores! It's a shorthanded goal for Nick Gustafson. 3-0 Stars.
Well, and that's going to be a shorthanded goal, just a misplay by this Bulldog team in their zone. And it was Gustafson that found the puck on his stick. He wheeled and fired and picked the upper corner glove side.
In the net is taken away by Gustafson.
And that's a shorty, so there's still 1 minute and 1 second left in the penalty to Anderson. So the Bulldogs can't come back having the man advantage, but boy, that's a big lift for the Stars team, scoring a shorty on the power play, going up by 3 now.
That's the second of the game for Nick Gustafson, who now has 24 lighting the lap moments on the season.
Well, now he just needs an even strength. He's got a power play, a shorty, and finished the Gordie Howe hat trick. He needs an even strength goal as well.
With the Bulldogs set up from deep in their own end. Played over toward the near side. Gustafson was able to block this one, keep it in the Bulldog zone. Taken away out front. They get it to Gustafson, and he just missed on the back door. A little bit slow to get up is Conkle. I think he's a little bit upset that he missed on that.
And I'm not sure the ref even knows that he's down. Well, now he does.
30 seconds to go in the power play. 4-on-4 right now. 5-on-3. Excuse me, there's a shot that's played up on a play by Wyke. The net gets knocked off. So it's 5-on-3 there in that moment as...
Well, that was a rock and a hard place. And it looks like that was Conkle that couldn't get himself back up. And the referee, you can't take the continuation away from the team on the power play with possession. So kind of a rock and a hard place, but we hope he can get back and join his teammates. But very gingerly down on the ice, and he actually hit a regroup. I don't think he's left the bench yet, but just 20 seconds left. But obviously there's a point of concern, one of the primary players on this team. But we just want him to get back and join his teammates so he can finish this game. But we'll keep you apprised as far as the situation, as the information becomes available. But kind of a trying moment for the Stars team, as it was, as you said, Patrick, 5-on-3, and a couple pretty good offerings on goal. And then the puck went straight up, and waiting for it to come down. That's when the net came off the mooring. So faceoff should be to Haugen's right. And 20 seconds left in the penalty to Brady Anderson of the Stars.
Oh, we're hoping Conkle's all right as he was helped off the ice at the end of that sequence. The Bulldogs win the face-off. Rimstead is it intercepted. Back out through neutral ice. Here's Odafe into the offensive, Olam into the offensive zone. Played back out to neutral ice as Sauter will drop it back deep into his own end. As the power play will come to an end, as the Stars score shorthanded, the second goal of the game for Nick Gustafson. As Rimstead able to gather it in. Rimstead into the offensive zone. He'll take a shot and a glove save by Hogan.
You know, that was a pretty good shot by Rimstead on that one. Just walked in, right-handed shot on the left-handed side, had a pretty good angle, but put it about a foot off the ice, and that was glove side, so a nice job by Isaac Haugen to make that save. But in fact, Rimstead's really played a very effective game so far. He's all over the ice trying to make some plays, and that was a pretty good offering on goal.
20-10 shots on goal in favor of the Stars as it comes down toward the near side in the Stars zone. Played back out to neutral. This gets by Fink. It's back to pick it up as O'Brien deep in his own end as O'Brien plays it up toward the far side. Tried a backhand clear, couldn't get it out. Backhand shot blocked as flying in there was Nick Houst along the far side. Unable to be held there by Anderson as the Bulldogs will set up from deep in their own end. 7 minutes to go here in the second period. 3-0 Stars leading here on homecoming night. A pair from Nick Gustafson in the second period. One shorthanded, one on the power play. Really one of the most physically intense games I've seen all year, Bart.
Well, indeed, and it's been effective, too. It's having some residual value as this Bulldogs team's getting rid of the puck a little quicker than they used to or want to.
Reinhardt on the near side is smacked into. Puck is loose along the near side boards, played back through neutral as Brock Olsen back to pick it up. So Olsen couldn't quite get it out of the zone. No, back out at neutral. Brooks Reichs into the offensive zone. Reichs can't get a shot away before Hardacre was able to take that puck away from him.
That was a good stick by Hardacre on that one.
Really good stick is back through neutral ice. They were almost able to spring Gustafson, but the pass was intercepted. Sent cross ice by Conkle. Back on the near side, here's Anderson with it. Anderson gets it to Conkle. He was trying to get it over to Sommernes. Sommernes played it in deep to the Bulldog zone. Gustafson behind the net with it. He's down to the near side corner. We played around the net by the Bulldogs. Back out to neutral ice as it'll be gathered in by Anderson. Anderson's cross ice pass going toward Odafay. As Odafay's puck is sent up out of play with 5.5 minutes to go here in the period.
Again, a nice physical shift by this Stars team, and with purpose. It was Conkle that actually is on the receiving end, and Brady Anderson took a little exception and told him that he didn't really appreciate him taking some liberties, and then Conkle went down and put a hit on down in the corner. So everybody getting involved in the physical part of the game. The thing I like is they're doing it with purpose. There's a reason for it. They're checking on the proper side, and it's been very effective so far.
They'll blow it dead off the face-off.
Ooh, he's taking them both.
Wow.
Or he kicked them both out. I'm not sure really what the referee had in mind on that one.
Bulldogs control the face-off. It all was able to get through. Here's Lettinen in. Lettinen with a shot save. Rebound. They score! If the Bulldogs are able to get on the board on the rebound from the shot by Lettinen, it's 3-1 with 5:21 to go here in the second period. That'll be the 10th of the year for Brady Souter, and a big goal for the Bulldogs at a much-needed moment.
Well, Lettinen actually took the initial shot, but it was Haugen that made the save. But really nice job by Souter to really get down in there and be in the proper position. Just nice redirect into the open goal. Now it's 3-1. They're 2 good shots down, but that's got to give this Bulldog team a little energy. They've been working awful hard without a lot of reward. Finally, they get to some positives after their efforts.
Centering feed out front and just missing on that one were the Stars that comes over for the near side. The drive through traffic, that's just tipped wide.
Narum gets a helper on that one as well.
So the Bulldogs on the board. They're trying to play it now from deep in their own end as it's up toward Charlie Wyke on the far side. Wyke flips it through neutral as O'Connell gathers it in. He sends it toward Gavin Brink. Has it taken away. Brink now back with it. It's intercepted, and then a shot goes wide by Souter, but a whistle and an offside.
Well, Souter feeling the mojo right now, but it was a delayed offside. So once he touched the puck, the referee was forced to blow the whistle, so that it is going to come outside the zone. Allows both coaches to change lines and get the fresh legs out there. The second period line change, Patrick, as I've talked about many times, better to get off early than late, especially if you're a defensive duo. Because it's hard to defend against a good team with tired legs, and that's really what the Bulldogs want to avoid this period.
Jake Rimstead will go get it deep in his own end as Rimstead harassed behind the net by Truman Hogan. It's pushed up into the far side corner. The shot from out front and saved by Moe as Josh Larson found that puck in front as the Bulldogs play it back out to neutral. Michalitzi plays it back in deep, comes through the corner. Played around the net by Rimstead. Rimstead, though, can't clear as a tip back out to neutral ice. Brady Anderson backhanding it the other way. And the Stars back into the offensive zone. A shot from Larson is saved up out of play.
Well, and that's what the Stars have done all game long, is if the Bulldogs do get possession out of their zone into the neutral, then things get a little muddy for them. But the Stars are doing a good job of supporting each other, supporting the puck, and turning the play back up. And that's where the frustration can come in for the Bulldogs. If they do get possession, they really have a challenge getting through the neutral zone with any energy with possession. So the Stars are doing a great job of not only putting heat on with 24 shots on goal with under 4 minutes to go, but they played a sound defensive game.
The Bulldogs possessing it on the far side. It's almost able to be taken away by Southwest Christian-Richfield. The Bulldogs trying to work it ahead, but then Souter got shoved off the puck. It's played back out into the neutral zone as the Bulldogs tried to drive it in deep but couldn't. Gathered in here by Conkle. Conkle into the offensive zone, 1-on-3, drops it to the trailer, and the shot goes wide by Sommernes. As it comes down to the near side corner, there was a 3-on-1. Unfortunately, the shot going just wide as they work their way out front again. Played back out into the neutral zone. Lettinen into the offensive zone with Sauter. Lettinen almost got this one through to Sauter with just out of his reach. They come down to the near side corner. 3:07 to go, second period. 3-1. Stars leading it. The Stars got the first 3 in the game. A pair from Nick Gustafson. The Stars will come in offside.
Oh, only by a lot. But it was Lettinen that actually put it on Sauter's stick. It just either bounced over a stick or snuck under the stick. But that pass was right where it needed to be, 2-on-1. But it was a nice dish. But these things happen, especially in the waning moments of a period where the ice gets a little chippy, but it bounced over. So could have been a really good opportunity. And what do the Stars do? They clear the zone, get the puck out of danger.
It's played back in deep by Colin O'Connell. It'll work its way around the net up into the far side corner. Aiden Blaschko trying to play it around. The Bulldogs were able to maintain possession. Taken away here out front by Bendel. Bendel on the near side drops it back to the point for a shot block. The Stars will go back and get it deep in their own end as it's played back up toward the red line. Bulldogs will reset again deep in their own zone. It's played over toward Fink on the near side as Fink couldn't quite get it on his stick. It's back out in the neutral zone. There's Odafe in. Odafe with a shot in on Mo, who holds on.
Well, that's when the old adage, any shot on goal is a good shot. Odafe, a pretty decent offering from outside the blue line, so from distance, but that puck seemed to kind of take a couple different turns on Logan Mo, but he held on to it. Now he's got equipment adjustment, but pretty good save on a somewhat challenging shot, but 2:16 left in this period, 3-1. It's the Stars that has the advantage. 26-12 are the shots on goal, so just a continuation basically of that of the first period, but the Bulldogs are getting some opportunities to get some shots on goal.
Face off, still loose in the circle, now comes back to the point for a shot that's blocked in front. Bulldogs play it up toward the far side where Seth Reichs up the right wing, the left wing, pushed back into the Stars zone. Stars trying to bank this one ahead, and now they will flip it high through neutral as it comes down toward Larson on the near side. As Larson collides with Fink as here's Host into the offensive zone. He takes a big hit from Mason Reinhardt as it's played back through the neutral zone. As O'Connell will go get it in the Stars end. 1:42 to go here, second period, 3-1. Stars leading it. Bank off the near side boards. Fink can't hold the zone. As here's Host through neutral as he's poked off this puck as he entered the offensive zone. It's back around toward the near side. Played back out into the neutral zone. Gustafson has it. Gustafson, it's a nice pass. That'll be an icing. It's a little bit out of reach.
Well, it was a good idea, but it was Josh Larson that he tried to hit in stride, but it just eluded him all the way down. So the puck is going to come, or the faceoff is going to come down. Just 1:16 left in the second period, up by 3. But now the Bulldogs get an offensive zone faceoff. They haven't had great success in the faceoff dot, but what a good place to start winning some faceoffs, get possession, put some heat on the goaltender.
1:16 to go, second period. 3-1, Stars leading it. It's played through the corner up toward the far side toward Gustafson. It's Gustafson battling with Brady Sauter. The shot that'll go wide in front of the net, down toward the near side from Tristan O'Brien. The Stars will set up from behind their own net. Can't clear as it's intercepted, and what a great job to move that one through by Conkle. Conkle into the offensive zone. Conkle backhand feed out front. It's still loose in the slot. And quickly through neutral ice come the Bulldogs, where it's sent right back as Charlie Wyke had gained to the offensive zone, and it'll be sent back in deep with 35 seconds to go here in the period. Played back out to neutral ice. Nice job to haul this one back in by O'Brien. O'Brien on the far side boards, though couldn't quite get it under control, and then he took a hit in front of the bench.
Got caught in a snowdrift.
My goodness, we talked about those later period ice conditions, and another example of that there is the Bulldogs with 11 seconds in the period will just try to get it to intermission. 5 seconds to go here in the period. It's Hardacre. Hardacre, though, lost control as the period comes to an end. Nick Gustafson scores a pair, one shorthanded, one on the power play. as Brady Sauter was able to get the Bulldogs on the board late in the period, but the Stars will take a 3-1 lead to the second intermission. You're watching MN Hockey TV coverage of the Stars and the Minnesota River Bulldogs.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project
Okay.
that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about your journey to get here to Southwest Christian. What brought you here to play hockey and go to school?
Yeah, I grew up in Conca, played youth hockey, bands, BBs there. My brother went to this school, he started the program, and I decided to come here as well, and it's been great so far.
So you were able to see his example. Was he here when it first started at the JV level?
Right, yeah, the first year.
And then you're like, hey, this is cool enough for me?
Yeah.
How's the school been for you?
It's awesome, it's really nice.
Tell me about what the classes are like, what the kids are like, and obviously there's a faith component to it, which is really great.
Yeah, classes are really small, so you get good teacher to student ratio, which is nice. And then what was the other question?
And just what the the students are like and how it works.
Yeah, the community is great. Students are super nice. I was welcome my first year student.
And then in terms of, you're at Tonka, man, good player. And you could probably be a skipper right now, right? But you chose to do something different. From the things that you saw from what your brother experienced, what were the key things that made you decide that, you know what, I'm cool with that, I want to go here?
Definitely Coach Westrom. I trusted him. I knew what he was doing. I mean, it doesn't matter where you play if you're good enough.
Wow. This is a throwback, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely love that. That's great. How's the hockey been this year so far for you guys?
It's been good. We just went over 500. We had a rough start.
And the leadership in the room, how's that?
Yeah, it's great. We have 2 captains, 2 assistant captains.
And then this game tonight, obviously you're playing against the Bulldogs of Minnesota River. Scrappy team, they're up over 500. When you have all this kind of hype and it's the future stars, that kind of thing, how much do you guys have to just stay within the moment and just play the game and get through that?
Definitely a lot. I mean, there's a lot of distractions, a lot of things that take you out of your normal
stuff like this.
Plan, right, all these people, but we just got to win this game.
If you want to go to the next level, get ready, right?
Right.
All right, Brody, thanks a lot for that night. And we are between periods. This is period number 2 and 3. The scoreboard reads 3-1 in favor of the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars over the Bulldogs of Minnesota River. And what a game we've had so far. It was a very eventful second period. And we will in a moment here take a look at your highlights as our very own.
Came so close to tying the game shorthanded, but ruled that it went off the inside, came back out, backdoor, they score! It's a power play goal.
Feet at 12:44 on the power play for the 1-0 lead. Then Southwest Christian-Richfield will have a shorty. Nick Gustafson picks up his second point of the game and second of the second goal as well. That one with 8 minutes and 43 seconds left.
That shot in that shorthanded situation that the officials ruled that did not go in the net is taken away by Gustafson. Gustafson, he scores! It's a short.
The net there for the now 3-0 lead. Minnesota River's Brady Souter will respond with 5:21 left in the period. We'll take a look at this.
A lot of reward. Finally, they get to some positives after their efforts.
Centering feed out front and.
Oh, that was a save, rather. Sorry. Look at that. Throwing a little bit of a curveball at me. And now here's the Minnesota River goal that you're going to get to take a peek. Souter just takes off. Works his way in on goal. Look at that. Holds it, and then buries for the 3-1 deficit here after 2. Shots on goal read for Southwest Christian-Richfield 27. For Minnesota River 13. And that will do it for your scoring summary and highlights so far. Power plays for Southwest Christian. They've taken 2 penalties. Minnesota River has 0 for 2 on the power play. Meanwhile, 1 for 1 for Southwest Christian-Richfield with the man advantage. We're going to hear now from the Dean of Students, the man, the myth, and the legend. I caught up with Rob Wassenauer in the student section. It's packed in here, and this is a good one. Rob Wassenauer, right here at the MNHockey.tv.
With a living legend right here. I don't know if you guys realize how much of a stud this guy was. Game-winning bucket, Edina, half court.
Yep.
Bloomington Jefferson.
Bloomington Jefferson.
I'll never forget it. Amazing. The guy could pitch the lights out of the baseball. He could do everything. Rob Wasser, you guys are lucky to have him.
Yes,
right?
you are. Don't you ever forget it. Yeah! Go Stars.
Obviously a big night. It's a great crowd. This place has got a lot of vibe. And you know, when you guys first started this program, what did you think about being here? I mean, did you think this could happen?
This is the dream of dreams. This is why we built up the hockey program. Darren Kaiser, our AD, and all these dads and hockey heads came together to build a great relationship with Richfield, to bring Richfield back into hockey, bring Southwest into hockey. We want this. We want to be a part of Minnesota River hockey. We want to get in the state tournament at some point. And then we get a coach like Eric Westrom to bring the notches up like 10 levels. You get an NHL guy coming out. It's awesome. That's what it's all about. These guys are loving it. It's homecoming. Oh, yeah. It's a phenomenal night.
Talk about these guys, your students.
We have great kids. We have families that have a passion to raise their kids in the right way. They want a Christian education. They want the best of sports that talk about the character development, but also skill development too. We've got the best of both worlds. We're excited about it. Just the vibe tonight is just happening. It's an amazing night. I grew up in Edina hockey all over the place. We're trying to bring that vibe here to Southwest.
You're doing a good job. You're doing it.
They're awesome.
All right, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Lots of energy here in these stands at the Chaska Community Center, and led by Dean of Students Rob Wassenauer. That was some great stuff. Now I had an opportunity right at the start of the period to go down and catch up with the Athletic Activities Director, Darren Kaiser. He's put together one heck of a program here. We're on the hockey side of things as well as all sports, as they've been blessed with the mission that they're working here and have some great coaches to speak of. We talked about a wide-ranging set of topics with Darren. Let's check out Darren Kaiser, the activities director here at Southwest Christian.
So here we are ringside. You can see over your shoulder we're about ready to get started. I've done a lot of games in my life, and I'm really enjoying the night because the vibe is so real, it's pure. Can you talk about that with your school and what Future Stars is all about, how great that is?
Yeah. Yeah, so Future Stars is a night where we have prospective families come in, and it's an awesome way to show our program, what we stand for. We see our student body here, and they're lighting it up tonight. It's electric, it's fun, it's an awesome environment, the kids are engaged, and that's what we've been living for. That's what we've been hoping for 5 years now since we started this program.
It's kind of dubbed as a homecoming.
Yeah.
Like a hockey version of it, right?
Yeah.
Where did that genesis come from? How did that work?
Well, so when we started, we had a couple parents say, you know what, all the basketball players are getting all the attention. Let's try and give some spotlight to our hockey players. And we're like, you know what, that's exactly right. So we took this weekend, we had Saturday games for basketball, and we were like, you know what, let's tie it into one big smash of a party. And so we have hockey homecoming tonight, and then we have basketball games all day tomorrow.
So it's a weekend.
Yeah, it's a full weekend thing.
You've got some big-time coaches here. You've got a dean of students who is, as I've said, the living legend.
Yeah.
But, I know everybody loves Rob and the type of guy he is. He's true, genuine. There's gentlemen and there's gentlemen, right? And he's one of them. But you've got coaches up and down your roster of coaches that you've done a heck of a job loading up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's completely a mission-based thing. Our school is faith-based, and all the coaches that we're hiring are faith-based coaches. And so when you look at a guy like Eric Westrom, he's coming in so he can walk alongside and mentor the players, the athletes. You look at a Rob Wassenaar. We are lucky that he was our dean of students, because else I don't know if we'd hire a coach that good. But he kind of fell into our lap, and now he's done a killing job on our baseball side. And we have that with every other program as well.
Well, it's here for the right reasons.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about the mission, right?
Yeah, you look at guys like Westrom, these guys are going out for lunch with these kids to walk alongside of them in the game of life. Not on the rink, not on the field, but they're walking alongside of them to mentor them, to get them to college, to look out for them in their next journey.
Great job. Great weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Southwest Christian-Richfield leading Minnesota River after 2 periods. Bart, you've got the scoring summary for us.
Well, indeed I do. In the first period, it was Bendel that actually scored his third from Larson and Olam. And then in the second period, it was Gustafson from Hardacre and Odafe on the power play. Then it was the Stars' Gustafson again with his second goal of game 24th of the season unassisted. And that was a short-handed goal. Brought the lead to 3-0, but it was the Dogs that answered back. It was Souder that actually scored his 10th from Lettinen and Narum. And that's where we are, 3-1. Shots on goal that period, 14 for the Stars for a 2-period total of 26, and 8 for the Bulldogs for a 2-period total of 12. But to go from 4 shots on goal to 8 shots on goal, that's a pretty good step. They obviously have some work to do, but they're 2 good shots down. I think really, Patrick, what it comes down to is just getting the sequence of passing. They're good with the first pass. The second pass, it either the Stars or it jumps over the stick, but just a little puck luck might work quite well for them. But they're just 2 good shots. But it really starts with the face-off circle. They have to start winning some face-offs, getting possession, moving the puck around, and putting some pressure on Isaac Haugen, the Stars goaltender so far. But they have a challenge in front of them because the Stars are playing all 3 zones pretty well, and they're really cutting the ice in half.
Of course, one of what might be the defining moment of this game was Brock Olson in on a breakaway shorthanded, put a puck in off the inside of the crossbar. Officials right there said no, it did not go in, as Gustafson cashed in on the power play for the Stars just a moment later. That would have tied the game at 1, and we could be looking at a completely different game.
Well, it's funny how that can change the dynamic of a game, but the referee was in good proximity to his credit. But you say inside the crossbar, there might be a point. We just covered a Eden Prairie game where the referee was in the same proximity. It came in and out so quickly, but they ruled it a goal. But he was very definitive on his call. But those are just things that you have to kind of deal with through the course of a game. But you have to manage your emotions, forget about it, and get back to business. But if they would have kind of maintained their focus, maybe that goal wouldn't have happened.
Absolutely. So the Bulldogs, he said, just 2 shots away from getting this game tied up here in this third period. 26-12 shots on goal in favor of the Stars. You're on homecoming night. We hope you've enjoyed the features that we've had for you between periods and in the pregame. It was a momentous evening for the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars. You're on MN Hockey TV. They celebrate homecoming with us. Got the whole band here. David Hillen, John Sands on production, Pete Wagner, executive producer, Todd Grover on camera, and of course Bart Archer and myself, Patrick Lilia, with you on the call of this evening's game. Happy to be with you from the Community Center here in Chaska.
Patrick, this is my first time at the Community Center. I'm kind of impressed with the atmosphere, the ambiance. I actually stood next to the gentleman that worked the spotlight, so they dim the lights just like the Skippers do, and then they kind of make it a nice event. But they really put a good ambiance out there, and it's a hockey mentality out here, and you can tell everybody's fully invested in this game. Really kind of impressive. It kind of kicks off the race for the X, so to speak, the race for sections. But as you alluded to earlier in the game, very important game for both of these teams when it comes to seeding. But I think everybody in the state of Minnesota wants to finish their last 4, 5, 6 games very, very strong, get the proper seed, and get the easiest road through sections. But here we go.
As we talked about, Minnesota River very much in the mix for a home game in Section 1A. They'll play it in deep to the Bulldog zone. An odd number of teams of the top seed, which I think right now will be Dodge Center. When they're on top in the standings, would get a bye in that case. But Minnesota River, as we said, very much in the mix for a home game in Section 1A. While the Stars will need a little more help to get a home game for themselves going into sectionals. 30 seconds gone here in the third period. 3-1, the Stars leading it. As we'll get a whistle with the net getting jostled off at the Bulldog end.
Again, you can tell that this Bulldog team understands the situation, came out with a little energy, but the Stars just going methodically about their business. One thing I really like about the Stars is they don't wait for things to happen. They go out and really make things happen. They've been ready to play the first, second, now the third period. But they're a very well-coached team, and they have some energy about them. It's been a fun team to watch.
Face-off controlled by the Stars. They get it over to Hardacre. Hardacre to the red line, and Olim, who carries it in. Olim will play this one through the corner as it comes back over toward the near side. The Bulldogs up the left wing as Brooks Reichs into the offensive zone was able to get it in onside. Reichs up in the far side corner. Loses control and Olim has it. Olim was trying to flip it out. It goes out into the neutral zone. The Bulldogs would be offside and they have to touch up. The Stars will set up from their own end. 15:50 to play here in regulation. Here's almost a takeaway as Reichs put on a big hit, and a penalty will come here against the Bulldogs, and that's going to be a big call as it's going to put them in a precarious position down by 2 here early in the third period.
Seth Reichs got a little aggressive on that one. It was actually Hardacre that came up and met him, and I think he just got to his stick a little aggressive play after engagement. So it's going to be 2 minutes in the box. Boy, that's a tough penalty to take early in the third period down by 2. But now it's up to his Bulldog teammates to jump in, kill this penalty off and get through it, maybe get a little energy out of it and turn the play up. But what a great opportunity it is for the Stars in the power play to boost the lead to 3.
Stars are 1 for 2 with the man advantage tonight as Nick Gustafson had a power play goal. The Stars control off the face-off. There's Anderson on the near side. Anderson will now take it back outside the circle. Anderson getting it back up toward Conkle. Gustafson on the far side with a shot blocked out front. Hardacre with the shot. It's twisted back out to neutral ice as Souter will carry it in as he's trying to work his way around Conkle. As several players go hard into the boards as puck is intercepted by Lettinen. Lettinen with a shot that was blocked out front as it works its way down low. Comes around the net, back toward the near side.
Boy, great energy and effective penalty kill by this Bulldogs team.
Absolutely, as they've generated a couple of opportunities as there's Hardacre into the offensive zone. Hardacre works his way up toward the far side. He'll try to ring the net where it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. They were almost able to spring this one to Charlie Wyke. It was out of his reach as Wyke will track it down as Hogan got out of his net, and it looked like for a moment that could have been more dangerous than it ended up being as back out at neutral ice. Well, rather, the Stars will set up. There's Hardacre with it. Hardacre carrying it in. Hardacre with Gustafson. Hardacre with a shot and a glove save by Logan Moe with 14:24 to go, 46 seconds in the power play.
Well, Hardacre seemed to manage his way through traffic through the neutral zone, went far side, put it offering on short side, but it was Moe that actually flashed the leather and held on to that puck. Just 46 seconds left in the penalty to Seth Reichs. Somebody lost, I believe, a pad on the breezers. It might have been one of the Bulldogs, but he was skating so fast his equipment couldn't even keep up with him.
As it's played in deep to the offensive zone, Brock Olson on the end boards. They'll play this one through the corner. Stretch pass to Gustafson. Gustafson, though, gets tied up by Fink and then grabbed in by Tristan O'Brien as O'Brien rings the boards around to the near side. They get it in the direction of Owen Sommerness, who was out of his reach. It's played back into the Stars zone. 15 seconds to go in the power play as the Stars set up from deep in their own zone. Flipped over toward the near side. There's Cullen O'Connell into the offensive zone on the right wing. 2 seconds in the power play. In front as it's loose and goes to the end boards. Power play is over. The Bulldogs in the offensive zone with it, and this one just tipped wide by Gustafson. When flipped, it loudly hits the rafters, and that'll result in a stoppage.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of doubt about that, was there, Patrick? But pretty good kill overall by this Bulldogs team. It was Gustafson that got that good look, but that shot went wide. Other than that, I thought that was really a great effort, and they might get some energy because they actually got through that. They're only 2 good shots down, but time is becoming of the essence right now. 13:24 left in the third period, down by 2. The Bulldogs have to get some offensive zone time.
Comes down into the near side corner in the Bulldog zone. Still being battled for on the near side boards. 13-13 to go here in regulation. Comes through the corner, played around the net up toward the far side as Matt Fink will try to get it ahead. We'll go into the neutral zone as Brady Souter couldn't quite get it on his stick. Here's Brooks Reichs into the offensive zone. Reichs with a shot blocked. It comes down through the near side circle as the Stars trying to play it around. It's intercepted out front. Banked back to the neutral zone. Fink able to play it back into the Stars zone. 12:42 to go in regulation. It's a 2-goal lead for the Stars. At 3-1, they scored the first 3 in the game. Nick Gustafson has a pair, both of those coming in the second period, with a shot ripped just wide by Ollie Ewis as it comes over to the near side. Shot in on Moe, had to be steered aside. The Bulldogs will play this one through, and that will go for icing with 12:18 to go in the game.
Well, the Bulldogs have made some progress, but getting back to the icing and just getting desperate to clear the puck out of the zone, I think that if they just held on to it or had better anticipation as far as where they wanted to go, they'd be a little bit more effective. But this Stars team's all over the place contesting and making it very difficult to get out of their zone. Whatever I say is easier said than done.
As the Bulldogs control, they are unable to clear as Jackson Olim got in the way of that stretch pass. It's rung back over toward the near side. It's off the stick of Charlie Wyke, back out at neutral ice. Banked back off the near side as Blaszko able to control briefly. Now Olim back with it. Olim will backhand it into the Bulldog zone.
Anderson got away with one.
Oh, he sure did. The shot out front, saved by Moe. They got it to Olim. Hardacre with a shot blocked. I don't know where the puck is. Apparently nobody else does either. And now we get a whistle.
Well, you don't see that very often.
As Charlie Wyke was running around with the puck in his skate, I guess.
Well, everybody else is looking to find out where it was, and there's a strap that's hanging off Logan Moe. I thought it was the puck that was kind of dancing its way in, but it's just a strap from his goal pad. But face-off now in the Bulldog zone.
Face-off controlled by the Bulldogs, sent back out to neutral ice where it's gathered in by Anderson. Anderson sends it over toward the near side as it's sent back as Hardacre took a big hit. Hardacre back with it on the near side. Hardacre trying to thread this one through. It's on the stick of Gustafson as he tried to backhand it toward Conkle. Bulldogs the other way. Here's Wyke into the offensive zone. Wyke still with it. Wyke with a shot, and just missing was Fink out front as he tried to stick out his wood and knock that one into the net, but it got through to Hogan, who made the save.
Well, the Bulldogs are taking some chances. It was Wyke that actually did a good job of maintaining possession of that puck, turning and firing on goal. That's their first shot of the goal in this period, and we're 11-12 left. So being 2 shots down, Stars have done a good job of defending. It was a good save by the goaltender.
Back out at neutral ice where the Bulldogs are able to carry it. Here's Seth Reichs into the offensive zone. Reichs had the puck knocked away from him, and then a shot was blocked. from behind him, and then it comes around the net toward the near side. Stretch pass will go off the stick of Conkle. Gustafson can't get it on his stick. Pushed into the offensive zone by the Bulldogs. The shot whiffed on by Waiter. Comes through the corner. Thrown out of the reach of Gustafson, and that'll be icing with 10:31 to go.
Well, it was a tough battle just inside on the Stars zone, but it was the Bulldogs that actually maintained possession. I thought they were going to get a better shot on goal, but again, that tenacious defense by this Stars team. Their positioning is good, and they don't quit on plays. But I like the life that I'm seeing out of this Bulldog team. They're having offensive zone faceoff. It just comes down to winning the faceoff with possession and putting some pressure on Isaac Haugen. But only one offering so far, but they have had some zone time. So now the next part of this step is just get some possession, get some shots on goal.
So the Stars quickly through neutral. Here's Odafe into the offensive zone. Odafe, though, can't quite get his way around the defender. It's a great job there by Blaszko to stay with him and then keep on him. With a shot whiffed on by O'Connell. It's loose in front, and Mo is down. And we might get a penalty coming here against Odafe for that little shot at the end with the stick.
Well, or the net just came off the moorings, one of the two, but that puck was very lazy and slow-moving puck, but it made its way all the way from inside the blue line through a bunch of legs and made it to the goaltender. Mo, he made that save, but the net came off the moorings, so face-off to his left. No penalties.
10-11 to go here in regulation as the Bulldogs.
Here we go.
3-on-2 the other way as White trying to force this one through, but it's intercepted. Played back out toward neutral ice. It's sent back deep into the Stars zone. The Bulldogs touch up. Stars with it deep in their own end. Taken away by the Bulldogs along the near side. Centering feed into the circle. Drop it back to O'Brien at the point. O'Brien with a shot blocked by Bendel. The Bulldogs still with it to play it back to the corner, back behind the net, around toward the near side. Stars again will try to get it up ahead for Odafe. The long shot that's saved by Hogan. It comes down to the near side. Played around the net, back up toward the far side as Odafe is met there. Odafe in the corner trying to get it as he battles with Brady Souter.
Elbow a little high.
It's around through the near side. O'Brien able to hold. O'Brien pushing it back into the near side corner. It'll work behind the net. The Bulldogs getting some changes here one by one with the puck deep in the Stars zone. If that'll hit the rafters, we'll have another face-off.
Well, good sustained pressure by this Bulldog team. They were able to swap some personnel while maintaining pressure in the offensive zone, but really didn't get out in the scoring area. So the Stars, once they need one challenge, they're minding their defensive responsibilities and staying in the proper position. But I like the sequence and the effort from the Bulldogs.
Face-off controlled by the Stars. They bank it out to neutral ice as Fink trying to get it towards Seth Reichs. Played back into the Bulldog zone briefly. Fink gets it back out. As Seth Reichs just fighting along. He's able to push it deep into the Stars zone once again. As Brady Anderson plays it up toward the far side in front of the Stars bench. Now back out at neutral ice where Mason Reinhart will set up with Fink. Fink into the offensive zone. Fink will play this one through the corner. Fink behind the net as he throws a hit on Brady Anderson. Centered out front. And a shot that's still loose. Backhand is still loose in front of Haugen. He's able to get on top of it.
Well, you have to like the energy of Fink on that when he spearheaded that rush, followed it up, and I'm speaking to Matt Fink, number 2 in the gray, and then he used the body, but to free things up. The puck came out. He dusted it off a little bit. If he could have done that one fluid motion, maybe had a better scoring opportunity, but he pushed the puck back toward the net. So really nice sequence by Matt Fink for this Bulldog team to keep that puck in the zone and put some pressure on and force the goaltender to make a save. 8:08 now is left in this third period, so time is becoming of the essence for this Bulldog team. Good zone time, but they need to get some good quality opportunities and put some shots on goal.
Face-off is fought for in the near side corner. Comes through to Fink out front, and a shot just goes wide. So Fink having a really good shift here as it's played back into the neutral zone. As Reese Narum goes back to get it, try to get it across ice toward Brady Souter. Back out come the Bulldogs. Here is Charlie Wyke into the offensive zone. Was trying to get this one through to Souter as he was tied up. It comes down into the near side corner. Puck battled for on the end boards. The Stars will work it out to neutral ice. This one gets out ahead of Owen Sommerness. Bulldogs with it now in their own zone once again. A nice move here to keep it on his stick by Fink. Fink trying to push it ahead, and he takes another hard hit. A lot of hard hits, a lot of loud oohs and ahs coming from the crowd of some of these physical hits in this game. Banked off the near side boards. Fink was trying to gain control of it. Gustafson and Fink battling for it. They get it ahead to Souter as he takes a shot from Hardacre. Pushed into the Stars zone. And the Bulldogs contingent wants a penalty for that shot. It's kind of in the area of Souter's head, but no penalty was called. 6:45 to play in regulation. Bulldogs need a big play to happen sooner rather than later. Here's Olim. Olim into the offensive zone. Olim was trying to thread this one through toward Brink as it comes down toward the near side. Excuse me, that was Swenson in front. Loose in front, and Brink down on a knee. Rather, that's Swenson again. 6:22 to go here in the final period.
Well, Swenson wasn't the blue. He was kind of keeping the Logan Moe company down there. But I love the focus and the urgency out of this Bulldogs team. But once they start getting a little traction, it's the Stars that take the play back away.
Face off, battled for in the far side corner in the Bulldog zone. The Stars able to come out with it. And it's taken away, played back out to neutral ice. As Uhas plays it over toward the near side. Can't clear though as it's knocked down by the Bulldogs. Played around the net as Brock Olson will chase after the play. Bulldogs able to hold as it's pushed wide of the net once again down to the near side corner. It's back toward O'Brien who can't hold the zone. Here's Olim into the offensive zone as looked like a big hit from Seth Reichs. Trying to work his way through his Odafe. A shot saved by Moe. Rebound still loose. And it's cleared out by the Bulldogs, and that'll be an icing with 5:33 to go.
Yeah, really nice job by the Bulldog goaltender Logan Moe to keep that puck out of there. Kind of a trying moment for this Bulldog team. The Stars, they have a nose for the net, and they push the puck toward that area. And then they followed it up, but a nice clear by the Bulldogs just to relieve some pressure. Allow the coach to put some fresh legs out there. But 5:32 left for the Stars team to finish this one out. They're up by 2 good shots. Shots on goal 33 for the Stars and 15 for the Bulldogs. That number has got to grow a little bit more. Here we go.
Into the offensive zone, but offside as Wyke was knocked into the offensive zone on the collision, and that resulted in the offside.
Well, indeed, it was a collision, I believe, with Brady Anderson, who's played a nice physical game tonight. It was a good play at that time, but it was Wyke that actually snuck in before the pucks of the faceoff just outside the zone.
Face-off pushed ahead by Conkle. Conkle still with it into the offensive zone, battling with Olsen. Centering feed out front toward Gustafson, just out of his reach. Shot blocked, goes into the neutral zone as Hardacre trying to catch up to it. As Lettinen almost was able to take that puck away. It's sent in deep to the Stars zone. Hardacre will set up deep in his own end. Play it up into the far side corner. Get toward Gustafson where it's tipped away by Aiden Blashko. As they get it to Wyke. Wyke into the offensive zone. Wyke with a shot wide of the net. Comes down toward the near side. More good physical play here from the Stars. As Gustafson will have it at neutral ice. Gustafson, oh, what a move as he almost was able to get that puck around Blashko, and then Blashko wasn't even trying to block that shot, but he got in front of it anyway, and back come the Bulldogs. Here's Lettinen. Lettinen into the offensive zone. Lettinen trying to get it over to Reichs in front. It was out of his reach. The shot that'll be saved by Haugen down to the near side corner. 4:10 to go in regulation. 3-1, the Stars leading it. Wow. Gustafson will, oh my goodness, Gustafson.
Great hustle.
Yeah, indeed, as Gustafson has it intercepted out front. And the Bulldogs carrying it back into the offensive zone. It'll work their way around the net. As trying to take this one away here is O'Connell. As they'll play it up toward the far side. It's sent cross ice as Rimstead will play it in deep. It'll go wide of the net. Sticking it up deep in his own end is Olim. Through neutral is O'Connell. O'Connell into the offensive zone with 3.5 minutes to play as O'Connell driven into the end board. Still with the puck as he drops it back to the point. Shot from Ewis got through, and the rebound grabbed on the bounce attempt by Moe with 3:20 to play.
Well, and it was Reese Whiter that actually redirected that right before it got to Moe, so the goaltender made a nice adjustment. It was Whiter that's just trying to make a play and stop that forward progress, but just 3:20 left. So it looks like it might be a timeout being called, and I don't know if that was actually being called by Coach Eric Westrom or by this Bulldog team, but it's a good time for a timeout now. Just reset, regroup, let the kids get their get fluids if they need, catch their breath again, but make sure that everybody's on the same page. Perhaps there might be a play being drawn up by this Bulldog team, and I guess perhaps by the Stars, but the Stars right now, all they need to do is dump it deep and make them pull the full 200 feet. And it all starts in the face-off dot, but they've had great success in the face-off dot during this game, so that's an area of improvement for the Bulldogs in this final 3:20. If they can get possession off that face-off, it could bode very well, but I love the sense of urgency on this Bulldog team. If they had this sense of urgency in the first period, we might be talking about a different game, but the Stars team came ready to play tonight. Now they just have to finish off this game.
Absolutely. Just want to remind you, we've got a full day of action on MN Hockey TV tomorrow as Benilde St. Margaret takes on Bloomington Jefferson, and Eden Prairie against Edina tomorrow night on MN Hockey TV. Both of those games starting around 7 o'clock.
Around 7. I love the way you qualify. They never start on time as it stands, but Eden Prairie, Edina, just they have met previous this year. The one that comes to mind is the Edina Holiday Classic. It's always a Saturday night game that everybody looks forward to, and Edina and Eden Prairie went 0-0 until about 4 minutes left in that third period, and it was John Middleset that ripped one up under the bar on Loden Hogue, and that was the difference in that game. So 1-0 Eden Prairie escaped the holiday tournament with that win. So this tomorrow night's game is going to be a fun one to watch. So if you get a chance to check in with us, please check in. Otherwise, Benilde St. Margaret's against Jefferson should be a good contest as well.
That'll be tomorrow night. We've also got a Edina Hopkins Park girls in the afternoon, as well as Benilde St. Margaret's girls in action as well.
A lot going on. All for your pleasure. Big face-off right here.
It's controlled by Minnesota River. 3:20 to go now in regulation. Now down to 3:15. 3-1. The Stars with the lead. Into the offensive zone. Here's Bendel with it. Bendel had the first goal of the game for the Stars. They put them ahead 1-0 in the first period. Flipped along the glass, back up into the corner. As Blaszko trying to get the play pinned up as the shot save out front by Moe, as the Bulldog contingent again wanting a penalty but not getting one.
They're pretty boisterous.
Oh, they sure are. A good contingent traveling up from that conglomeration of communities that make up the Minnesota River program, up and down the Minnesota River Valley and the Valley of the Green Giant. Empty net for Minnesota River with 2:28 to go here in regulation. 6-on-5. The shot save as tumbling over is Haugen, but he's got it with 2:21 to go.
See what I like what Lettinen did. He had the puck at the blue line and he walked it. He actually drew the defender over, opened up some space, and allowed that shot to take place. Nice delivery, nice shot. But again, it was a pretty good shot by Isaac Houghton. He hasn't seen a lot of action. In fact, he's only seen 5 shots so far this period. A couple were pretty good though, but that was a good save at the right time. Just 2:21. That clock keeps ticking down. It's going awful quick for this Bulldog team, and it's taken forever for the Stars. But an offensive zone face-off for the Bulldogs.
Empty net for Minnesota River. 6-on-5 as it's cleared up into the bench with 2:17 to go.
Well, I don't think that's what Anderson had in mind, but really it's not going to mean a whole bunch as long as they keep winning the faceoff. But the temptation is to send it down the ice. But what you do is if you miss that, obviously it brings it all the way down for a faceoff, and the clock does indeed stop.
Face-off, pushed toward the net. It ends up on the end boards. It's played up toward the far side where the Bulldogs able to keep control of it. So push this one through the corner. Loose in the circle. There's Sauter back with it. Sauter Drops it to Rimstead as he tries to get it down low as it was tipped on the way in. Rimstead able to hold. Rimstead, it's loose in front and able to be held onto by Haugen. 1:51 to play. 3-1 Stars leading by 2 empty net, Minnesota River.
It was a nice offering, I believe, from Olsen, but Olsen did a redirect right in front of Haugen. Haugen did a nice job of controlling what was a pretty challenging shot on goal, just 1:51. So we're under 2 minutes now, but a good face-off win by this Bulldog team. Pretty decent offering on goal, so a little bit of room for improvement, but they're trending the right direction.
The Bulldogs play this one through the far side corner. It ends up on the end boards as the Stars carry it around. Blaszko able to hold as he plays it back behind the net once again. It's down into the near side corner, now back behind the net, where the Bulldogs again able to come out with it. 1.5 minutes to go in regulation. 3-1. Stars leading it. As here's Bendel through neutral toward the empty net. He scores! Caleb Bendel with his second goal of the game. And that'll put the icing on this homecoming night as the Stars have a 3-goal lead with 1:22 to play.
Well, and that wasn't just your typical empty net goal. He had to kind of chip the puck up and over sticks and bodies, 2 bodies, so he actually earned that one. But now it's 4-1, 1:22. I like the fight of this Bulldog team. Never said quit. They actually got better as this period kind of went on, but the Stars, flexing their offensive muscles, gained possession, just walked it up to the red line and put a shot into an empty net. But good showing by the Stars tonight, giving up 1 goal. Obviously, I'm a little ahead of the curve here with 1:21 left, but pretty good defensive effort and some offensive output as well.
Bulldogs carry it around the net, back toward the near side. 1:11 to play here in regulation. 4-1 in favor of the Southwest Christian-Richfield Stars as they will look to win here on homecoming night. Get a big win in terms of sectional play as a penalty will come here against the Stars as we're under a minute to play as the Stars touch up.
Well, it's a penalty that kind of had to be called. They're going to call holding penalty on the Stars. And it is going to be Odafe that's going to go. He's played a pretty strong game, brought the physical part of the game, but had some pretty good puck control. Really had a nice hand in contributing to this win. But 52.8, so the Bulldogs just trying to punch one in just for pride purposes, get a little energy going into the next game, because obviously these games are going to get bigger and bigger the closer we get to section seedings.
As we talked about, the Bulldogs very much alive for a home game in their section, section 1A. Well, they're going to need to pick up a couple of wins to make sure they get one. This one thrown toward the empty net and in. It's a shorthanded goal for Hardacre.
No, I think that's Gustafson scoring his 3rd, so I believe that's the hat trick.
That'll make it 5-1 with 44.6 left. Gustafson with his hat trick completion.
Well, you know, the empty net goals do indeed count, but to me it's more of a 3-1, 4-1 game. I just think that if this Minnesota River Bulldog team can show the same energy from the start of the game that they did in this 3rd period, I think their fortunes, could be most positive going into sections. But it's just you have to play the full 51 minutes, and you have to be ready to play. I just think the Stars were a little bit more ready to play, had a little bit more focus in their game tonight.
Absolutely. So Gustafson.
Another shorty. That's right.
So he had a pair of shorties and a power play goal. Bulldogs quickly back into the offensive zone. 22 seconds remaining. Well, the Stars will pick up a big win. They're going to need some serious help if they're going to end up with a home game in sectionals. They're down toward the bottom of the 2A standings.
Well, obviously you want to get that favorable seat so you can't get the home game. But if you don't get the home game, you still have to play. And I think that the way that their game is right now, because this is not their home rink, so to speak, they turned in a pretty good showing. So being on the road can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge, but it's not anything that the Stars can't handle. If they play like they did tonight for the full 51 minutes in all 3 zones, they're going to be in pretty good shape.
This Rimstead will take a long shot, and that will bring us to the end of the game. The Stars with a dominating performance and a victory on homecoming night as they defeat Minnesota River 5-1. Hat trick from Nick Gustafson and a pair from Caleb Bendel. And they win And they put on a show for the home fans this evening.
Yeah, Bendel actually with 2 goals tonight brings them up to a total of 4. Gustafson hits the 25 plateau during this game, and that's a nice level to get to regardless of who you are, but good things to come for this Stars team. But again, it was a good game. Friday night special, great atmosphere here at the Chaska Community Center, really fabulous, and they put on a good production. But it was a nice night of hockey, Patrick. It's good that I got to call a game with you again before the season wrapped up. Maybe we can call another one before this thing's all said and done.
I would like that very much as well. So on behalf of our full band here at the Chaska Community Center, David Hill and John Sands,